Welcome everyone to this explainer. Today we're going way beyond the headlines and all that daily noise. We're gonna look directly at the source material to see how the concept of Islamic peace, the actual text of the Quran, and the physical practice of daily prayer aren't just isolated ideas. They actually form a deeply interconnected system for personal transformation. We're gonna break down exactly how this works, step by step.
Okay, let's dive into this. What actually comes to your mind when you hear the word Islam? For some of us, it immediately brings up images of prayer or maybe a local mosque. For others, it might be the month of Ramadan or simply the millions of Muslims living around the world today. I want you to kind of examine your own preconceived notions as we explore these sources today, because we're going to look at what the foundational texts really truly say. So let's re-anchor our understanding by looking at the word itself. The word Islam is deeply connected to the concept of submission to God, but it actually derives from an Arabic root word associated with peace and safety. And you know, this brings up a really fascinating question. Is this peace just the absence of war, or is it something far deeper that literally has to begin internally?
Section 1. The architecture of peace, building from the inside out. Now, the source material highlights a core Islamic teaching, which is that you simply cannot create a peaceful society using peaceful laws alone. It fundamentally requires peaceful people who have totally mastered their own internal state and self-control. Here are the sequential building blocks of that internal architecture. Step 1 is controlling anger, which the Prophet Muhammad taught was a measure of true strength. Step 2 is showing mercy, and that's actually one of the most repeated descriptions of God in the Quran. Step 3 is standing for justice. And step 4, forgiving others to break those endless cycles of revenge. This internal architecture is absolutely crucial today. Think about it as a powerful antidote to our modern world of endless social media outrage, political division, and just constant conflict.
Section 2. A living guidebook, unpacking the Quran.
Muslims believe the Quran is the direct revelation of God, which began way back in the 7th century in Arabia, with one simple but incredibly powerful command to the Prophet Muhammad: read. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer scope of this guidebook. I mean, just look at this list. The Quran covers God, creation, justice, mercy, family, charity, patience, forgiveness, accountability, and literally the very purpose of human existence. It proves that the Quran is much, much more than just a simple book of religious laws or rigid rules. It is a comprehensive ethical and spiritual guide to life. The text also contains some really fascinating theological intersections with other faiths, like the discussion of Jesus, who is known as Isa in Arabic. Islamic belief honors him with a miraculous birth as a human prophet and a highly honored messenger, whereas mainstream Christian theology, of course, views Jesus as God. Impartially recognizing this nuance really helps us see how the Quran uniquely connects Islam with earlier Abrahamic traditions, while strictly maintaining its own distinct, absolute focus on the oneness of God. There's another profound balance mandated by the Quran, and that's the balance between justice and compassion. Because think about it, justice without compassion, well, that can become incredibly harsh. But compassion without justice can allow wrongdoing to just continue completely unchecked. This is a crucial moral balance where believers are directly challenged to do the right thing, even when doing the right thing goes completely against their own personal interests. No easy task, right? Now, for 14 centuries, that's right, 1,400 years, the Quran has not just sat on a shelf gathering dust. It's actually memorized by millions of people known as Hafaz, and it gets recited daily all around the world. It provides constant, living guidance and comfort, and it's deeply, deeply woven into the daily rhythm of everyday life for over 1 billion people. Moving on to Section 3, the rhythm of remembrance, disconnecting to reconnect. This brings us to Salah, the daily prayer. It's a physical practice that essentially enforces all of those Quranic teachings we were just talking about, creating this steady daily rhythm of remembrance. You've got Fajr before sunrise, Dhuhr at midday, Asr in the afternoon, Maghrib at sunset, and Isha at night. As you'll see, they are intentionally spread throughout the entire day. These aren't just empty rituals, they act as spiritual checkpoints. They constantly force human beings back to what actually matters, right smack in the middle of their busy, chaotic lives. So the crucial point is this: the phone can wait, the email can wait, the argument can wait. When we bridge this ancient practice to our modern reality, Salah acts as a completely necessary, mandatory pause from our screens, our constant notifications, and all our endless distractions. It forces a moment of absolute disconnect
disconnection from the world's noise, just to reconnect with the Creator. And when this prayer happens in a mosque, it creates this beautiful scene of radical equality. A wealthy executive literally stands shoulder to shoulder with the construction worker. This physical act places human beings together in straight rows, without any special VIP seat or privileged sections. It's like a visual, physical proof of the Islamic teaching that human worth simply isn't determined by wealth or job title or social status. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the concept of sujood or prostration. Placing the forehead directly on the ground is literally the most humble physical position a human being can possibly take. Just think about the psychology happening here for a second. It actively breaks down human limits. It forces the person who spends all day out there seeking power, money, and status to become completely physically humble before their creator. Section 4, overrituals and the real world result. According to the source text, Islamic spirituality is fundamentally supposed to show up in your everyday behavior, not just during isolated moments of worship. It presents this profound rhetorical hook. If someone prays 5 times a day but treats people badly, the text is on absolutely clear. Fasting doesn't teach you patience, and charity doesn't actually create real compassion. Then a fundamental piece of the transformation is completely missing. The real test of the prayer actually begins the moment the person walks out of the mosque. Let's move to and see how this builds this final transformation. From anger to patience, from selfishness to generosity, from hatred to forgiveness, from inner chaos to peace. This basically summarizes the entire Islam. It's an integrated, lifelong journey of self-improvement. The ultimate goal of the Quran and the daily prayers is to permanently change your character, how you treat your family, your neighbors, and honestly, actually the best future. So, I'll leave you reflecting on a final provocative question. What can we learn from one another about becoming better human beings? When we finally look beyond the stereotypes and the loud headlines, human diversity, as outlined in these sources, is meant to be an opportunity for deep understanding rather than hatred. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking questions, keep looking closely at the structures around us, and never stop learning.